Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 448.
448.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Today we're talking all about the Oogie Boogie Bash at Disney California Adventure, which is totally, like, you can't book it now, but you can still have a trip to California, to Disneyland, or to Disneyland Paris, or to Walt Disney World.
There's a lot of Halloween around the world.
There's Halloween everywhere. So check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel if you're looking for a Halloween trip to a Disney park, or holidays
or Christmas.
At the parks.
Never too
That's
early.
What I just said.
Never too early. Holidays. Well, I count Halloween as a holiday too.
Okay, so Christmas or Halloween.
So we're talking about, again, the Oogie Boogie Bash at Disney California Adventure. You're able to check in. If you're in the park, you can check in inside, so you don't have to wait in the long lines outside the entrance.
And that's what we did. We walked in. We had a pass holder reservation that day, and we had been in just for a very short bit, and then
enough time to go on the
Monsters After Dark
at 3 o'clock. Yes.
And here is the map and the bag that they give you. It's not a reusable one like at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party this year. And of course, then you open up the map and it tells you what's going on.
A lot going on. I'll have to say right off the bat, this was the best Disney Halloween event I have ever been to.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Like last year was really good too.
But this was even better for me.
I love the Oogie Boogie Bash, and so I would like to next time do two, which I said last year, and we didn't do that. And there we are with some friends from Disneyland Paris.
There is Raphael there,
yes,
who works at Disneyland Paris. And our new
Darren.
friend, Darren, yes.
And we have met, I think we have met
yes,
Darren before, but so anyway, here we are. We were in the line for 2 hours waiting for the Sanderson Sisters.
Waste of party time, I'm told.
Okay, a manager said that. So a manager really didn't want a line going more than a half hour early, but that is not the way it happened. And it
was a smart idea. It's a good tip. If you want to see these characters, again, it is the characters from Hocus Pocus. And look at this, in a starring role on the right, scrumptious, there is Clarabelle as Mary.
But during the party, you might be able to do it for an hour or less, but we didn't want to spend any party time, or we spent about 5 minutes of actual party time.
Right.
The party is 5 hours.
Well worth it to wait and get this going early.
Because I wanted to see Villains Grove at the end of the night,
right.
And otherwise it wouldn't have happened. So here I am meeting them.
Look at this. You have Minnie as Winifred there, and you're able to get right in with the characters. I've seen on the Disney cruise, you can't get that close. You have to. Yeah, they're distant on the cruise. So far, at least, the pictures I've seen.
So this was, it was really good to meet them. You have very little time, though, because they're really wanting to move any real meet and greet lines quickly. So it's like each person's allowed to use one device for one pose for 3 photos. It's very strict. And so we ended up splitting up.
The reason we were able to get the longer video is I had my own, you had your own, and then Darren had his own, and Raphael had his, and they all agreed it was okay to post this, so we have more time to talk about it and show it.
It was, but we were really quick about it, and it was a fun little. Very quick. All the meet and greets were very, very fast. But I do like the treat trails because you can spend all the time you want with the characters.
And we're going to talk all about that. I do want to mention, though, the PhotoPass pictures all night are included. Excellent.
And
they're free. They're included. And you can instantly get them right by clicking on the wristband. But the quality, the PhotoPass photographers really outdid themselves. And I'll talk more about that later on. It's Madame Mim.
I did not like that wristband, though. It makes your arms
yours
sweat.
Was on too tight.
Yeah,
mine was on the proper...
my poor arm was and it's scratchy. So I'm just letting you know ahead of time. But this is the first treat trail we did, which was Madame Mim.
Madame Mim.
And so each of the treat trails has a rare character. She is new for this year. There are several new characters for this year. And we had some really great costumes.
I love this. Merlin
yes, that
here.
was awesome.
And we talked to them. They said it was totally okay to post this. I thought it was so much fun when they were interacting. I did a whole, I watched her before they arrived, and it was good. But this was even better. So we have all of these characters going up or already posted on our YouTube channel.
So, yeah, and we actually were in line, when we were in line for the Sanderson Sisters, they were there as well. So I got to talk to them a little
And we're
bit.
going to look at some of the variety of treats. You had Go-Go Squeeze there. You just saw chocolates a bit earlier. This is, again, the first treat trail we did. Carrots. We have carrots, which
I
come in
love that.
very handy.
We ended up splitting a salad in as far as food for the evening, and then we ate our carrots and a few other things. Like there was grapes. I only got one
But they
grape.
did
though.
not scrimp on the good chocolate. I mean, look at all those Snickers. I mean, my bag was almost full within the first hour of the party.
It's very easy to have a full bag because each treat trail, it has like 4 or 5 treat stops to it, and they give out a number of pieces of candy. The Starburst I can't have because I feel like that's going to take out my whole mouth as I get older. But there's a lot of really good candy, just like Mickey's Not So Scary.
And you've seen, we've already had about four, and this is the 5th. I think we're getting grapes here. This was the 5th in the Agatha line.
I only
here.
got 1 grapes the whole evening, which was a surprise. I got like 3 carrots.
And you could see not overcrowded. And they have an area where you can stand. It's actually roped off, and you can stand and interact with the characters if you don't want to go through. That's new for this year. Last year they did not have that little standing, like an official roped off area.
It's actually really great because you could spend an hour here if you want, or you can just walk right by.
It is great.
It's terrific for either. Just like Ernesto, there was a blue carpet, and we'll probably show that.
Oh, we'll show that.
But she was new last year. Agatha was, and there was Sid also was new last year. They're fantastic. It's like performance art at every
the
treat trail.
interactions were amazing. And I thought last year was great. This year, for me, it was even better.
Are
She
we
was
doing 2
fantastic.
next year?
I hope so. I would love to do 2.
I would like to
I would
do
do
2.
1 Mickey's Not So Scary, and then go
2
out
of
for
the-
2 of the Oogie Boogie
Even
Bashes.
without fireworks, a shorter parade, and no big stage show.
It feels
I
like
love
Halloween.
it. Yeah,
It's-
I just love it.
Oh, and we have some more. Now these, I think, are the fish, the little chip fish.
Is
What
that
are
what
they
those
called?
are? I thought they were the bug bites.
Oh, were they the bug bites?
It looks like bug bites.
Okay, that maybe they were the bug
I
bites.
like the bug bites. So Ernesto de Cruz is like the best thing almost
It's
at the
amazing,
party.
amazing.
And the talent that they have, is for each of the treat trail. I don't want to call them characters.
And he talks
Terrific.
and interacts
Yes.
with you, and then every maybe 7-8 minutes he'll sing one of his favorite songs.
His only-
Remember
Yes, don't
me.
do that.
No, that would be a bad thing. to do.
That's his only. I think that's the only song.
I think
he
it is his
sings.
only song,
We
yes.
arrived when he was just finishing up, so we waited as he talked to everybody, and he talks to guests and poses for guests and with guests, and then he sang again.
I'm not sure if he's really singing or not. That's how good it is, where you can't tell if he's really singing.
Right.
He definitely is really talking to you, but it's. I mean, his lips match everything. If he's not singing, he's doing a great job
Yes.
of lip syncing.
I assume he's singing. So, but really, like everybody just was going crazy. It's like for Ernesto de Cruz.
Yeah.
And we waited for the treat trail characters like him about 15 minutes probably, not more than that. Pretty much or less for I think all of them.
Oh, and what do we have here? Cranberries.
Those
Oh, those are the craisins?
Yes.
It said cranberries.
Well, it is. It's craisins, but they're like cranberry.
Oh,
they're
okay.
like wrinkled. I think they're like
I still have mine.
wrinkled.
I haven't eaten them
like
yet.
raisins, but they're cranberries.
I like how they top it off, though, with some good old-fashioned chocolate. Have
And
some chocolate with your craisins.
You could have and each of the treat trails has like one item that's not, not candy.
Now we don't talk about this one.
No.
right? We will talk about it.
No.
It's Bruno.
And he was also new. This is a meet and greet. Bruno is a meet and greet, so he's not on the treat trail. And it's again, you get 1 pose, 3 photos, whatever, and probably no autographs, but. They really try to get that line moving. And again, another one where we waited 15 or less minutes. We really didn't wait that much except for that first meet and greet of the evening.
Right. And they'll tell you in advance. They'll say just 1 camera and or including the PhotoPass. You can get the PhotoPass camera in your 1 camera and then like 3 pictures.
Right.
So they want you to but nobody ever told me hurry up. Like once you actually got there, I never felt rushed in any way. Although we did move fast. We were quick.
I totally felt rushed only because I'd heard it so often to be quick about it. So it was just like go in for the photo and then go.
And here we have Ichabod Crane, and that can only mean one thing. It's the Headless Horseman is coming. This is before the Frightfully Fun Parade.
Right, and the Frightfully Fun Parade was the first parade that we saw back after the pandemic closure.
Right, 1 year ago.
And it was such an emotional time to get to see it. And he's very slow. The Headless Horseman
Which
walks.
is good. And he's also very slow at Walt Disney World as
Not
well.
not this slow. Not like a walking. He gallops, I think, just a little bit further. So the Frightfully Fun Parade is a fun parade. It is a shorter parade than Mickey's Not So Scary. What, 8 minutes or something was the video?
Yeah, 8 or 9. Maybe it came out at about 9 minutes. It was 9 minutes, including the very quick horseman.
And there's 2 each evening. I was able to get a pretty good spot last minute. This was, the party was I think one of the least crowded times I felt at Disneyland. Disneyland was really crowded the days that we went into the park,
right,
most of the time, except for the day that was like 100 degrees.
Yeah. And this was the third party of the year, and as you know, all of them are sold out. But yeah, I think they did a really good job with limiting the attendance. I never felt crowded. It never felt like it was oversold. It was just right. Even for me, I got to, as you know, we arrived before the parade, maybe 10 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes before parade started. And I think this was a fine spot. So I didn't have to wait around like I sometimes have to.
And some people said, like for the Sanderson sister characters, you know, they waited only like 20 minutes during the party. If they might
go
be
during
told
one of the parades, maybe.
Yeah, like it might be said an hour, but it might be shorter. But don't, you know, it could be an hour too. You just don't know when you get in exactly how long it will be. So here come Jack and Sally. They are one of the, I don't know how many floats there are. There must be at least about 5 floats. It's almost like a long cavalcade to me.
Yeah,
like
it's
going
kind
to
of like
Disneyland
that.
Paris.
But I mean, it's so great to see Jack and
Yes.
Sally in an actual parade and not a cavalcade. They're very good. They interact with the crowd like you're seeing here. You got Zero on the side. It's always good to get on this side so you can see Zero.
And I really enjoy, you know, seeing Jack and Sally. And then we'll probably see, I don't know if next is the Haunted Mansion.
It
yeah,
is.
the
You
ballroom
have a good
dancers.
memory.
There's
And
not
last
like a
year
million.
they didn't
so.
have this dance. They were distanced
Distanced.
last year. So, you know, this is something a little bit new for
And
us.
well, and we've seen Frightfully Fun prior to this.
Correct.
We saw it
At
at
Disneyland.
Disneyland Park.
At the last one that was held at Disneyland
Yes.
Park.
So here are the hitchhiking ghosts, and you know, there's like projections in the various windows here. So it's really kind of interesting to see what's going on.
Yeah, I
there.
love the Haunted Mansion float. I mean, it's the actual Haunted Mansion. Kind of like how there is an actual Phantom Manor in the Disneyland Paris Halloween Parade, which we're looking forward to seeing very soon.
Well, they call it Illusion Manor.
Illusion Manor, but it is
it's
Phantom
Phantom
Manor.
Manor, right? And
There's the bride.
yeah, and so you might miss her if you don't like look behind, and then you have the grave diggers behind her.
And just like at Walt Disney World, they're going to make the sparks in the pavement, which is good. And it's Halloween, Halloween.
Yeah.
Everybody is playing, and you can see they're kind of dancing along. I do love that music. Originally, that is from, again, Disneyland Paris, that song.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's from from Paris.
I did not even
That is
remember that.
correct.
It's hard to remember sometimes where the different music comes from because it kind of circulates.
This can only mean one thing. It's the arrival of Dr. Facilier.
And this is probably at this point all the villains.
Yeah, we're about to see all the villains. Here is Dr. Facilier on his float.
And he has his
float.
own, a really large float for him.
Very elaborate. I like all the colors, and again, in person, it really glows. You know, although the spot that I found to record it from is very well lit. So in some areas, things are very dark, so you can't see the details as well.
And Dr. Facilier also is on a treat trail.
And we're going to show that.
Yeah. So
He was fun. You were talking to someone, I think you were talking to Matt at the time. He was really funny. Dr. Facilier cracked me up. So we do have a video I'll be posting of that standalone.
And there is Ursula. This is the first time we've seen her look like, you know, like on these like wheels or whatever.
If anyone
you know?
remembers Spectromagic, she appeared like that in the
did she?
Spectromagic
I
parade.
did not remember that.
Yeah.
I did not.
That was the first time she kind of did that hovering effect, was in that
Oh,
parade, I believe.
I don't know. I've only seen Spectromagic in person a few times because it wasn't.
And we saw the very last one together.
Yeah, I
And
don't remember
Here we
Ursula.
are.
in it.
We are seeing some more of the villains here, and it is now the finale float, the villain float, and there's Hades on one side and Cruella de Vil in a different form there. We're going to see Cruella in a different form right after this.
And also, right, but not in the parade. And so we have the evil queen, and she is concocting
She's being
something.
very evil.
Yes.
We saw her also. She was great. Great to meet in person.
Did we?
Oh, no,
we did
that was
not. That was
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Last year
Yes.
they had the Evil Queen.
Evil
That's
Queen
right.
was on a treat trail last year. I think Cheshire Cat should be on a treat trail, but that's just me.
I think that's a good point. Last year, Cheshire Cat was meeting at Disneyland during the day with Alice, if you remember.
I do. Distanced, yes. So Cheshire Cat actually started at Disneyland Paris, and we first saw him and met him there a few
Halloween
years ago.
season, I think it was like 2017 or 18,
Something,
something
yeah.
like that. Very exciting.
And here is a live action Cruella. She is on a treat trail. It's so weird to say, they're on a treat trail, but you walk along the treat trail, you get your items, and then you get to,
I think this treat trail, although, and I just have to say, she is amazing.
She is.
Very, very good. Looks like the real character. I think at this treat trail is when I said, okay, I'm done. I'm putting my bag in my backpack. I'm getting rid of all the candy I don't want, and I'm just going to turn down the treats. So about halfway through the night, I had too much candy.
No, but then you told people, give it to the cast members, give it to me, so that I could carry it.
That's true. Sometimes they force it into your hand. They're like, don't you want candy? Okay. And then I put it in your bag, and now your bag's too heavy.
Well, you were like, put it in her, double hers.
Yeah, right.
So, but she reminded me of Emma Stone so much.
And I'm just showing this really quick. The lighting at night for the Hocus Pocus display
Characters,
here
yes.
is great. So, I mean, it would be nice. If we do it again, we will do it again next year.
We will do it that
I will
too.
try it at night.
Yeah, because I thought it looked better than during the day.
But I'm still glad we did the way we did because we got so much accomplished. Here is Oogie Boogie himself on his treat trail.
And I ended up going in twice. First, right before the first parade, because I wasn't expecting to watch the first parade. And so there was like nobody in here.
Right.
And then after the first parade with you, it was packed because everybody from the first parade came in here.
Even packed, though, we got through it pretty quick.
It was not as quick as my 1 minute.
Well, I have to say, I did not intend to see the first parade either, but we just happened to. It was less crowded than I thought on that boulevard, so I figured, why not? Let's see this one, and that way we'll have more time later on.
Last year, the Oogie Boogie line was one of the long ones, and it started before the party, so everybody was getting in line like we were probably.
We did that. Yeah, we waited
did.
about a half hour, not
At
2
least.
hours like we did for the Sandersons.
But between probably a half hour and an hour in line for the Oogie Boogie. Now you don't have to do anything like that for him.
Now we had some food, some healthy food, and I'm not showing that because I forgot to take pictures of it.
It's fine.
But afterwards, we decided to go around the Paradise Pier, and we saw Mickey, and Mickey is in his Kingdom Hearts outfit.
And honestly, I don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts. Like I think it's a game.
It is a video game, I think. I'm not that familiar.
It's not something I was. But
we missed Mickey, but we did get to see Goofy, and here he is, and he is also dressed in his Kingdom Hearts outfit.
So we waited for Goofy because the line wasn't too long. I mean, we probably waited 10
minutes
to 15 minutes.
No more than that.
Again, 15 minutes and less is about what we spent for almost everything at the entire party.
And so what I decided to do is, because we were splitting up, I asked the PhotoPass photographer if he would take some pictures of just Goofy. I figured it would give me a little more time to get video. And the PhotoPass guys like it. Mm-hmm. He said, "Oh, I love it when guests ask me to take pictures." So he had to change his camera really quick. But then, he took some. And while he was doing that, of course, I get all this Goofy dancing footage. But then he's taking all these pictures of Goofy, and then of course I jump in and get my own picture. So that's sort of a little tip if you're wanting to get a little video footage.
If they're okay with it.
I mean, I did it three or four times, and they're all happy, thankful, to be asked that.
Oh.
So I thought it was kind of cool. And then, of course, for the second year, we have Sid from Toy Story.
And Sid is pretty
Phillips,
great.
By the way.
Yeah.
Sid
oh,
Phillips.
I didn't know that.
He
I didn't
tells
remember
you this
that.
in the video. He says, "What's my name? Sid Phillips."
And by this time, they ran out of candy. So there was no candy to be had. So there wasn't much of a line because...
Is that why? Because I was skipping candy anyway, so I didn't realize.
There was no candy.
Oh.
They had just run out when we got there. So guests weren't coming through.
Okay, well that explains it. And I was wondering why it was just so empty for Sid.
Yeah.
I thought maybe nobody knew who he was or was interested in him.
No. It was just, the guests who want candy didn't go through.
Okay, so you mentioned about Dr. Facilier, and here is Dr. Facilier, and he is over by the Golden Zephyrs, is there, are they called? Oh,
Golden Zephyr. And yeah, and I did not realize he would be out. So I thought that was really, really great. Last year they had Hades, and he was not out. And I don't know if they.
Hades was by the fountain in front of Carthay. He was
Oh,
just out on a stage, if you remember. They had Dr.
this
Facilier
year?
last year.
No, that's what I'm saying is they had him last year, but I don't think they had him this year. And then
Oh, right.
Dr. Facilier was somebody who was there last year as well and returned.
Right, right. Dr. Facilier was actually where Ernesto is this year. He was there last year.
Yes.
But this was a great location, and he was, again, hilarious. A lot of fun interaction with the guests. So I thought that was a really good time.
And it was interesting, like, you're just walking along, it's like, oh, there's Dr. Facilier, you know. Like, Ernesto, you actually have to go into an area to see him.
So it's time finally for the Villains Grove. You had been talking about this for a year. We tried to get there at the end of the party last year, and then a fluke lightning storm happened, so they closed it early. This year, no lightning. The plan was to get there about 10 minutes before the end of the party. So 10:50, party closes at 11. No problem getting into the Villains Grove, and it was really worth the wait. It was amazing.
It was a little busy, and maybe it's always a little busy, but I think they wanted, because it's the end of the night, they probably wanted to kind of move everybody along. I don't usually come through this area. It's the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. So it's really gorgeous. And
It's beautifully themed. There's music. Like, this is Frollo's Sanctuary. So you hear, I think they're playing Hellfire, actually, that song from the movie. It was really, really exciting to go through this whole thing.
And the one thing I did not do before going on it is to look up information online about each area, which I would do, which I have done. You know, I did do today. But next time, to really study it and understand where you are along the trail.
So now we're leaving the Hunchback area, and I think, so
There are no characters.
Right.
It is just a themed area, a variety of themed areas, and
So if it's Maleficent's Will here, and that's where you're seeing all the great projection on the rocks and everything. And then we're going to the Queen of Hearts Garden. It should be next. But, I mean, look at this projection mapping. It's beautiful. And, again, with the music and the smoke and all the other effects, it's a total package. I was very impressed by it.
well, I mean, I was told last year, you know, everyone's like, don't miss Villains Grove, don't miss Villains Grove, and even this year, you should see Villains Grove. And so, like, it's been in my head, I should see Villains Grove. And so it really, you know, it doesn't do it. It's very hard to do it justice on video. But it's really the atmosphere. Even though I had not read this, like, I have a listing of what each area is.
I think we'll enjoy it even more next time,
Yes.
knowing. I mean, I figured that this was the Queen of Hearts
Of course.
area.
Yeah, well,
I didn't
you
know
knew
it's
it
called the
was.
Queen of Hearts Garden. But then when you actually see, I think we're about to see the Queen of Hearts herself just kind of appear. There she is, and she'll just kind of like it's very eerie. She'll be kind of appearing, and then she'll kind of fade away, and then just reappear, and she's moving things. Then you have all the red roses that change color. It was beautiful, and it was really good.
A little spooky at times. I
Yeah.
mean, not like a haunted house spooky, but just to me, it was mildly eerie at times to walk through with the music and everything.
Right, it's sort of like going to one of the Halloween nights at other parks, but not with scare actors. You know, more just the
Nobody's
whole,
popping out at you or
yeah.
anything.
I mean, I think the reason some people tell me that they didn't think it was worth doing is because they are very character-centric type people, and because there's no characters back here, it was skippable. But for me, it's not. I think it's a great way to end the night.
Where everybody told me I should do it. Like, everybody I talked to about Villains Grove said you really should do it. And this is the Scars Elephant Graveyard. Descend into a vast expanse that echoes with hyena laughter.
And it sure did. And you saw all the, the Scar things when he's singing his song. What's the name of that song? Be Prepared. He's doing Be Prepared. So there's music, that goes with all of this throughout there.
And it is a bit of a walk. This probably took us 10 to 15 minutes of walk time.
This is Dr. Facilier's Friends on the Other Side area here. You could probably figure that out by watching this.
Right. You can kind of tell as you're walking through what most of the areas are, based on, especially here. I think, the Dr. Facilier area is especially that.
Next is the Wicked Queen's Lightning Forest. And we get a lot of lightning here in Florida, but this was a little different.
This was really cool. I thought, this was one of my favorite areas to come through. I just thought it was really, really great effect.
Right, and again with the sound and the smoke and all the effects on the trees, it's very Halloween-like.
Yes, Halloween-like, villain-like, right?
Yes. And now we're at the home of the Wisps.
Watch these winged caretakers guide guests to safety amid a magical bastion of endless light.
Bastion?
Yes, we know somebody named Bastion.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see him soon.
I hope so. So anyway, I thought that was very cool also, the wisp part. And, this, I took some photos. Look, it's like Maleficent is going into there.
It's a beautiful, beautiful shot there. And this is called Dawn. And this is the very end as you are leaving the trail.
Escape in the nick of time as flickering lanterns lead the way toward a brilliant sunrise and a conclusion of this mythical trip.
Yeah. So again, I agree with the not to be missed. I also think the smart plan is to plan it at the very end of the night.
As long as there's no storm.
As long as there's no fluke lightning storm that probably only happens once every... Well,
and
although the weather changing a lot now.
And it was actually a regular storm, but it just didn't rain for us. It was just lightning in our particular area.
And of course, we have the beautiful projections on the Carthay building here. Just a great event. I loved it. I highly recommend it. I think we'll be doing it twice at least next time. Because there's even more that we could see by doing it again.
I really enjoyed the event, and it would be nice not to feel like, okay, we have to tick all these boxes off in one evening. I just want to enjoy the atmosphere and all that.
It's a great event when we can talk the entire show and have no stops because we enjoyed it and we have plenty to say. That's how good it was. That is another show.
That's another show. Thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mousefan Travel. Check them out online. Head to their website and you can get a no obligation quote if you're looking to do Halloween anywhere. Or at some point next year, you might want to do Halloween because right now you cannot do... you can't get tickets for Oogie Boogie Bash, and so maybe you'll want to do that next year.
That is a smart plan. So next week, actually the next 2 weeks, we're going to have the part 2 and part 3 of our Disney Wish Cruise rundown.
That's a lot of Disney Wish.
Yes, and we've already recorded those actually. Yes. So we've moved ahead of all that. We actually just came back from the D23 Expo.
I'm still tired.
We're still recovering from that, and we have a little trip coming up, and I'm sure that our viewers will be seeing what that's all about very soon. So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. Happy Halloween!
Yeah, happy Halloween. And Halloween is still how long away? What is today?
Halloween's over.
No.
We had Halloween, August 8th was our first Halloween.
I don't even know what today is. 18th, right? So we still have a 18th. Month and a half till real Halloween.
Real Halloween.
And, Disneyland Paris has not yet started its official Halloween season.
I think we should check it out.
We probably should.
We should check it out, definitely. And also, not that long until Christmas. So Merry Christmas.
No, don't. It's not Christmas. Okay, we're not even at the end of Halloween yet, so.
All right. See you all next week.
Have a great week.